What's on Your Mind is sponsored by ACC 339 Dudley Road, New Style Radio 98.7 FM, Breakthrough Studios, and Reggae Jam Jam.
Good afternoon, guys. How you doing? Welcome to another program in the series of What's on Your Mind. The program is produced by Breakthrough TV, and I am Carl. Hope all is well with you. Wow, how you doing, guys? It's hot. It's hot. I gotta say it's hot. Did I say it's hot? It's hot. Well, we are enjoying it. I'm not gonna complain about it. I want to say big thanks to all you guys who watch the program. Let me say massive, massive respect. I want to say also big shout out to JB Rose, who was a guest on our last program, and she was talking about her single, We Are One. And the track is actually big, big, big. It's gone into the UK Soul Chart, which is actually marvelous. And I think it's probably about a number 10 the last time I checked. So that was actually very, very good. Big shout out to you, JB Rose. Also want to say big shout out to Mr. Momo Watt. Mr. Momo Watt released a brand new album, A Sense of You. Check that out as well. Wonderful brother. They've all been on the show, you know what I mean? So you know where to come if you want some plug. I'm just gonna say that. So how you doing? Hope all is well with you. My very special guest is Brian. Good afternoon, Brian. How you doing?
I'm good, man.
You're good.
Bless. Hot.
Hot.
Hot. Hot, man.
So shall I ask you, how's your day been?
Yeah, it's been hot. Someone said to me, like, how come that you come from Jamaica? Like, this heat is different. Like, just different, man. Hot, man.
Guys, what we saying now? It's hot in England.
It's hot in England. Cold England. Hot.
So Jamaica, wherever you are, it's hot in England.
Hot in England, man.
Yeah. And the last time you was here, you told us about your mother and your mother having cancer. And we looking for an update of where you are now. I know you've been helping people and doing sponsorship, you know what I mean, and still doing your thing of where you're helping people and, you know, giving them good ideas and giving them good help, you know what I mean, and doing sponsorship and all that. So we're going to talk about that a little bit later on, you know what I mean. And let me ask you how you're feeling within yourself, because I know it had taken a lot out of you at the time that we was actually talking. How are you feeling now?
You know, at one point I thought, like, you know, I'm in a good position right now.
Yeah, that's good.
Mental state. But we just celebrate my birthday and Fair's birthday.
Okay.
The 15th and the 16th. And that's when I realized I'm still far. I still have a lot more to go. So when people say, like, it get easier, maybe for them, but you know, I don't see where it is getting easier for me. But hopefully.
I understand.
Hopefully.
I understand. It's a long journey, isn't it? It's a long journey.
It is, you know, it is, because as I always said, like, my mom was dear to me.
Yeah.
And what funny was, just in my adult stage, we try to get the full, proper relationship, because when I was younger, I couldn't speak to my mother about girlfriend.
Okay.
I couldn't speak to my mother about girlfriend.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But when we reach in my adult stage, I can even talk to my mother about sex.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
So, and then unfortunately, cancer took her from me.
I mean, I understand. One other thing about it, you'll never be the same when you lost your mother.
No.
You'll never be. I lost my mother in 2016, and I'm a totally different person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Same.
And the other thing is, life is strange. Life is a strange journey, because I've lost most of the my immediate aunties and uncles that I actually grew up with. You know what I mean? On my mother's side of the family, I've lost all of them, and there was quite a few of them. And then you realize life is such a journey. It's 1 minute it was all here, you know, including my mother, and the next minute, you know, and I don't want to be morbid, but it's sometimes it's something you face, and it's the reality. And all those people that I grew up with in my little Jamaica, or even a lot of people that I actually grew up in my little, you know, surrounding of my little neighborhood in Jamaica, most of those people are gone. And then you think, my days, you know what I mean? You see how the situation is.
Yeah.
And, you know, so, and I say, I'm not the same person. When I lost my mother was very, very dear to me. And I've never been the same person once I've lost her. No matter how I live, not long as I live, I'll never be the same again.
Yes. I don't know if when I was here the last time, I'd made mention that even after my mom, I lost a few family members as well.
Yeah.
So I lost my cousin
Yeah.
right after my mom, and then my nephew, and then my dad.
Wow.
So within 4 months.
Heavy. Well, heavy.
You know what I mean? And my dad died on my birthday last year.
Wow.
Just in the time when I am mourning the loss of my mom and my nephew and my cousin. So it's a very rough road for me last year, and it still is.
It still is a very rough
because
road.
every year celebrating my birthday, I am celebrating my mom's birthday with her memorial and my dad memorial on my birthday.
Wow, that's strong. That's strong. Let me say, massive respect. And massive respect for you to take the time out and come and share this moment with us, yeah?
Definitely, man.
Great. Anyway, as you know, I look at a couple of stories that's happening in the news. I always do. And the big one, actually, which actually started Monday, the Southgate stabbing. And a girl 6, 7, and 9 was killed in Southport in a knife attack. And this happened on Monday. There was actually a Taylor Swift theme event. And a man got in, and he stabbed three girls. They're dead, and 5 of the children, including 2 adults, has also been seriously injured, and they're actually very, very critical. The gentleman you see on the screen there is a man that he actually calls him a hero, and he actually went over and he was talking to this one woman, and this one woman says, why are you talking to me? There's a guy in there which is, has a knife and he's attacking people, children. So he rushed over and he actually confronted the knife man, and his name is actually Joel, and he's actually turned out to be a hero, which is in helping this situation. And I must move the story on, because after that, a lot of people was actually paying their respects, Last night, a lot of people was paying their respect. Yesterday evening into last night, a lot of people was paying their respects and paying condolence to the family. And all of a sudden, we could say a riot has started, People was throwing bricks. I think about 50 policemen was injured. People was throwing bricks set place on fire, and all that sort of thing that was actually going on, And sometimes in news sources that you've actually seen, they actually say it's like the far right extreme. They set fire to a mosque. There was set fire to people's house. They was throwing bricks. They was throwing everything. And you would think in a time like this, when people is going through such a grief, they would steady themselves, and mindless thugs, they'd steady themselves and pay respect instead of trying to cause a riot. And quite a few policemen was actually hurt.
People don't respect nothing these
days. No,
they
don't. They don't respect anything.
Respect the dead. But what funny is, I only come across that story today.
Yeah.
And I seen the 3 little girls. It was sad, man.
It is sad to see those 3 little girls.
So you was telling me there's a hero in the play. I didn't even know about that.
The guy, he actually rushed over and helped, and he actually attacks the knife man. The knife man is a 17-year-old. He can't be named because of legal reasons, and he is still being questioned by the police.
So he disarmed the knife man.
He disarmed the knife man, and the police was all there as well. One lady described it as chaotic. It was like a war zone. This one lady, Can you imagine children at a place? Enjoying themselves. It's holidays, isn't it? And something like this goes on. The thing about Southport, I've been to Southport. Southport is generally a quiet place.
Right.
It's like a seaside town, And you just can't get your head around it. You can't get your head around it.
Crazy, man.
It is crazy. Yeah. And we say big condolence to the whole family. And all those people that was actually injured. And we hope they'll get well soon, and the family be able to cope. And I know the family will actually get a lot of support, So we support, and I know the government is actually supporting the family as well. The police and all the different organizations is actually supporting those wonderful people, and hope things get a little bit better. It takes time, but a big condolence, to the whole family and that tragic incident that actually happens there, Now let me move on. The United States. Now, protesters in the United States has been protesting about this Sonia Massey. Sonia Massey is an African American, and she was at home. It is the word is actually coming out. She was at home, and she actually phoned the police 911. She calls 911. 911 turns up. I think she actually have some health issues or sort of mental health issues, and she actually called 991. Yeah, 911. And when they came, one of the deputy fired 3 shots. And they actually shoot her in the head. They actually put 1 shot in her head.
The video was circulating.
Yeah, they actually put 1 shot in her head. And it brings to mind, this is another African American who's actually been shot at home, and there's been quite a few African American that's actually been shot at home for some reason or another, and we don't know what is going on. So I'll say a lot of people have been protesting about this. You know,
Is it last year or the year before where this policewoman mistaking her neighbor house for her house?
That's right. Yeah.
Thinking that someone was in her house.
That's right. Yeah.
You know, and that was a big debate as well, because the map was there to differentiate, your number was there, and how could you mistake your apartment for your neighbor? And you went in and you just shoot her up just like that.
I think there was actually I think he was somebody in the army or the armed forces, if we call it armed forces. We call it armed forces here. And he actually came to his door. The strange thing about this one, he actually had like a pistol in his hand. And the police came. He was actually talking to having an argument with his girlfriend on his telephone. His girlfriend wasn't in the house. So he was actually having a conversation or an argument with his girlfriend. But people could hear him shouting. Right. So he must be shouting down the phone on about his girlfriend. However, the police come, and the neighbors called the police. And I think he actually, I don't know why he did this, but he actually opened the door and he had a gun in his hand. And when the police, they killed him.
They just done him.
They killed him.
To be honest with you, if I was a police, I would have done the same thing.
Yeah, well, I don't know why. I don't know why you actually.
I
don't know why you had a gun in your hand. You know what I mean? So that is like, and you know, America is America, isn't it?
Police not take check when it comes to guns.
No. So
not if them not take check with hot water.
Yeah. Well, I had this conversation with my producer. We come to the same conclusion. You know, why did he have a gun in his hand when he comes to the door? You know, why you have a police come to you?
Probably just didn't want to kill himself.
It makes well, I've heard that conversation before as well. Why do you want to do that?
Yeah.
You know? Right, guys, don't forget you can leave your comments, and don't forget to like and share and subscribe to the program, yeah? Now, let me look at Birmingham, England. In Birmingham, England, it's like there's a road crisis going on in Birmingham, England. And there's been a lot of accidents. But what I'm saying, a lot of people has been actually killed on our road. They've actually been killed on the road. And these are just like pedestrians, you know what I mean, going about their daily business. And there's been a big protest, and they say they want it stopped. You know what I mean? They don't want it to happen anymore. And in 5 days, 3 people was actually killed on the road. And another 4 people was actually injured, you know what I mean? And I said, these are just like sort of pedestrians or children going about their business, and crazy drivers, like you know how they are, literally run them over. You know what I mean? Which is actually crazy.
Sad, man.
Yeah. And I said, this is like car, you know, running into people. And I don't know how, what is going on in our road sometimes. I mean, sometimes I'm out, I'm actually driving, and I find it very, very difficult to actually see what is actually going on the road or what people is doing when they're actually driving on the road. You know what I mean? I saw a friend of mine the other day. I was driving, and I stopped. And I get out with my car. My friend was actually standing at a bus stop, and we was having a chat. I asked him if he wanted a lift. He said he didn't want a lift, and we were just standing there. My car was parked over there. We were just standing there having a chat. And all of a sudden, this guy just drives up, you know, and we was just standing at the bus stop, and he almost takes us out at the bus stop. And I think, I said to my friend, listen, if I was in my car, this wouldn't have happened to me. I could have been died. I could have died. I could have died just standing at the bus stop, just talking to you.
Yeah, but to be honest with you, sometimes when I say accidents here in the UK amaze me.
Yeah.
For some strange reason. Because comparing to Jamaica,
yes.
Yeah, I swear down, like accident happen so often. Like when it becomes like the first few months in the year, so much fatalities. And when the fatalities happening in Jamaica, if a bus crash, 5 people in it, rest assured probably 5 of them dead.
5 of them dead, yeah. And that doesn't have a change, because that's been there from when I was growing up as a child.
Even the bike. When I see bike man crash over here, I was like, that could have happened. Because I don't really hear like that.
Yeah.
Comparing to Jamaica, bike man crash on a daily basis.
Yes,
I would have said hourly basis.
Yes.
And when them crash, if them live, thank God them live.
Well, I can remember one of the this goes way back, and one of the one I can always remember when I was growing up. I remember where we live, like in Clarendon. there's like where we exact place where we live. There was this like, really big corner, and this bike man comes around the corner, you know, and he went off the road and he was over there, and he never survived. You know what I mean? He was those things sort of, you know, the first things just sort of ever see,
when I see
and it
these
just stands
things
out in
happen
it just stands out in
UK,
your brain.
yeah, when I see these things happen in the UK, it really amazes me. It may sound weird, but
Yeah.
Because you're used to these things in Jamaica, you know,
What's going on?
yeah, it's like when you see these things, because you don't really see it on the road. Like, to be honest with you, all these years, I said, I don't want to own a bike. I wouldn't want to own a bike.
Yeah.
And coming into the UK, sometimes I think about it. One never to buy a bike. Because it seems so safe.
Yeah.
It seems so safe. Comparing to Jamaica, you guarantee if you hear something on social media, or you probably pass it directly and see say your bike accident. Sometimes man head on with bike, you know.
Crazy.
That's how crazy it is in Jamaica.
It is crazy. I recall, you know, a guy I was actually one of the guy that was in one of the band that I played in, and then one day he decided to buy a bike. I would say, so what you do with a bike, man? And I think he actually got knocked up about 3 times off that bike. You know
my father had a bike in his younger days.
Yeah.
My father almost lose him seed off a bike.
It's not funny.
He almost lose him seed off a bike, man.
Serious?
Yeah, man.
Oh gosh.
Pin up on a neat one truck, man. And I can remember my mother always talk about it. I'm used to crazy about, yo, this is going to work again. You know what I mean? It was always a worry if him think I'm going to work again.
I got to tell you, I was never a bike person. I was never. I actually thought about learning to ride one, you know, but it never attracts me to sort of get one because I always think it's too dangerous anyway.
Yeah, it is. I'm always a bike that don't make it. Yeah. It need 2 more wheels and a shelter.
You know. Right, guys, don't forget you can leave your comment. Let me move on. Now, a Kenyan plant specialist, he's actually making the case for traditional African medical plants. And Martin get together with a bunch of people every Thursday at Nairobi Museum, and they actually talk about, you know, getting traditional medicine, and they want it to regulate even more, you know what I mean, because according to the WHO, World Health Organizations, 80% of African countries use actually traditional plant medicine when they are ill, you know what I mean? So he wants it regulated. And they grow a lot of these, you know what I mean? I've got these sort of medicine, you know what I mean? And say he wants it regulated and to improve upon it and do the best that way they can with it. Because, you know, sometimes traditional things or the better things, you know what I mean? Instead of having all these things that we use, we talk about this many times, all this chemical thing that is added into it and all the rest of it, you know what I mean? So, and I think that's where he's actually going with this, you know what I mean? So we'll see how that develops. And I say he's pushing big for this now.
Pray for him life. Prayer for him life.
Well, that is also...
Because whenever people come out with stuff like this, you know what happened.
That's right, yeah.
The rest is history.
That is also,
Pray for him life,
big corporations, isn't it? Big corporations.
They don't like see these things.
Yeah. So we as I say, but the fact is, I say 80% of African countries actually use traditional medicine, traditional plant medicine.
Yeah.
When they actually, you know what I mean?
African and think India.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
African and think India, but, you know, it's like, because even this lady, it's so surprising, Barbara O'Neill, it's so surprising. She's from what, Switzerland? You know, they ban her from our own country because she preach and practice natural medicine.
Wow.
And she get good results from it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So when certain government, big people see these things, I don't really like it.
That's right.
You know what I mean? I'm constantly, anytime I talk about this, I always have to mention Sebi. Because them the Dr. Sebi, like, it's just so, you know, this man a cure and a heal people all over the world.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden him dead. Like, when him in a year care.
Amazing.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, amazing.
So, pray for you, man.
Yeah.
Pray for you, man.
Right, moving on, guys. Now, Jamaican Shelly Ann Fraser-Price is at the Olympics. And as I say, the 3 times world champion. It's possibly her last time at the Olympics. She hasn't decided to give up the track yet, but I say she's there, and it could be actually her final appearance there. And I say she's been such a great champion, Olympic champion, and she's been there a long, long time. And if she's gonna retire, we wish her all the very, very best. She gives us such joy, and the athletics hasn't started yet. I haven't been watching the Olympics at the moment because my favorite part doesn't come in yet.
Yeah, the Jamaican part.
No, the athletics. I love the athletics. I love the athletics in general. The horse riding thing. I'm not into that. And I don't want to diss anybody. The horse riding thing. I'm not into.
Yeah, Jamaican from birth, man.
Yeah, the horse
riding
thing and the rowing thing. I'm not into. You know what I mean?
You know what? Funny.
Yeah.
Merle Natty.
Yeah.
Fair legacy just dead, sir.
I know, she was a great champion, isn't she?
This is what I don't get. Like, we Jamaicans, we don't really appreciate people when they fall.
Yeah.
But we bring them up when we're... Well, I wouldn't even say Jamaican because I think globally.
Well, one of the reasons I actually mentioned Shelley is I know this is her last time in the Olympic arena. You know what I mean? I don't think she's going to... She hasn't said she's giving up the sport, you know. But this is probably the last time she will actually go to an Olympic Games, you know what I mean? Yeah. So this is why I'm giving her a shout out now. We decided to give her a shout out now because she's done such great work over the years, you know what I mean? And she's been like a trailblazer of what she's done, you know what I mean? So that's why I say...
Hope our legacy live on.
Of course.
Hope our legacy live on because like I say, like Merle Natty, legacy now.
Well, Merle Natty was the first in my little lifetime. She was the first one I've actually woman that actually heard. I mean, I've heard about the great Don Quarry. You know what I mean? I've heard about him. But Merle Natty was like the first woman I've actually heard about.
Man. She done good in her fair career, you know what I mean? Yeah. But you don't hear people talk about her like that. No, especially when you come up to these times, Olympics and them stuff. I hear people talk about her.
Yeah. And I don't even think she probably get a show where she actually, commentating on the sport either.
Even that.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Because sometimes
it's like she just lost off.
You see people get, they take part in commentating on the sport and what happened on different channels. You don't even see that, do you?
No, I don't see that.
Yeah.
It's so funny that you know you don't hear such a pass, but the way how it seems is like she don't exist no more.
Amazing, isn't it? Yeah. I say she was my hero because she's the first woman that I've actually saw. You know what I mean? I'm being a Jamaican as well. Jamaica.
Yeah,
Jamaica. No matter where I go in the world, you know what I mean? Definitely. Don't forget, guys, to like, share, and subscribe. Somebody say, am I Jamaican? Right, moving on. Now, another Jamaican, Itana. Itana has released her 8th album. And she says she's actually very, very proud of this album. And Nectar of the Gods. Actually, she loves it. And I said, the album dropped on the 26th of July. So we say big shout to Itana. Another wonderful Jamaican artist there. And, we hope her album does very, very well. Itana. Absolutely marvelous. Now, moving on, dancehall artist Sean Paul. Sean Paul has actually said, according to Dancehall magazine, he actually says he has no intention. He makes it clear he has no intention of giving up music. Until the day he died. What did you say? Dirty rock.
Dirty rock.
So he has no intention of giving up, and which is Sean Paul. Now, an interesting story. Now, let me move on. Now, reggae veteran. Harris Andy. Wow. The 1970 hit, 1970 artist, Skylarking. He has revealed, he has 30 children. 17 different baby mothers. He's actually 73. And he's actually been talking about his legacy and some of the things that actually happened to him. He said he was actually in Miami and he was actually in Washington. And one promoter just left him stranded, And he actually was threatened with violence when he was actually in Miami and Washington. And he talks about some of the things that actually happens to him, he says he keeps going because he actually has a very, very big family. And he has to make sure they are all right, And he's actually determined to support his family. Now, I should say he actually has. And he actually says he has 20 girl children, and 10 boys. And his youngest is, have a guess.
Yeah, no,
The man is 73. Good on you, boy. Did I say that?
from you ask me what is his youngest.
What was his youngest?
I only can guess him probably have a newborn.
Yeah, no, what is his youngest? Take it up a little bit.
10?
No, 4.
4.
His youngest is 4.
You must shoot, man. Him still a shoot.
Well, he's still great. He's still making great music, and he's still, as you say, he's still a shoot, isn't he?
Elephant Man have how much? 28?
28.
Or something like so.
30. That's more than more than a football double football team, isn't it?
So like, 70 how much?
73.
My fireman, I don't want fire same so I don't want so much pitney. I don't want so much pitney, but I don't want still a fire, you know?
I can't say that on the air. my producer just said something. I can't say that on the air, producer.
Say it, man, say it.
I wouldn't do that. I do like Harry Sunday, and I do like Harry Sunday music, and I couldn't do that, yeah. But he's you know what I mean? He's what 30 children. And then can you imagine grandchildren and great grandchildren?
A whole heap that, man.
It's a whole heap, penny.
A whole heap that come out, man, gone back in the Bible days.
And he comes to the UK. He comes to the UK quite a lot. He does quite a lot of shows in the UK.
Really?
Yeah, man. It's
to be honest with you, I don't know him.
You don't know him?
No, I don't know him.
They ever had a song called The Big Little Skylarkin.
Oh, him?
Yeah, Skylarkin. Skylarkin. Copyright. Gotta stop.
I know the song, but I don't know. I'm not familiar with the name of the singer.
Okay, great. It's great. Now, moving on. Jamaica, stay with Jamaica. Jamaica used to celebrate its independence. 62 years of independence. And there's been a lot of things going on, you know what I mean? There's going to be a whole lot of things going on, both at home and abroad from Jamaicans in the diaspora. And even here in Birmingham, we'll be having celebration. We have celebration at the ACMC, which is right here at Dudley Road. And that will be the 3rd of August, you know what I mean? And that starts about 12 p.m. till actually late on Saturday, so you can come along and join into that as well. And so there's a celebration going on all over the world, celebrating Jamaican independence. I've heard over the years, I've heard criticism of saying we're not independent, la la la. But I've always thought a country, regardless of the times, you know what I mean, a country should always has its independence. I know different forces do different things, you know, in this country that have their that have their independence, which we don't agree with, you know. But I always think, regardless, a country should always have their independence. I know somebody gonna say, "But I'm not really independent," you know. But
so where they say like the fact that world boss getting freedom now. Just within the time of independence.
You getting freedom?
Yeah, man, I'm getting freedom.
I never knew that.
I see it on Bounty Killer page today.
Serious?
Yeah, man.
Wow.
So I'm getting freedom just in time for independence.
That's interesting.
What a other thing if him come out on Independence Day?
It's not today. It's not today.
They would have put a new thing to Independence Day now, you know.
And that's cost a lot of money, hasn't it? It's cost so much money, the whole situation with that case.
Yeah.
So much money. You know what I
I
mean?
don't really want to share my thoughts.
No, I don't really want to share my thoughts.
I really want to share my thoughts.
Those thoughts are sometimes left not to share.
Right.
Anyway, let's get into this now. Brian, as I say, you tell us about your mother. Just give us a quick recap about your mother and how things are with you. You've talked earlier about how you've been actually doing different sponsorship regards to cancer and different people well-being and that sort of thing. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, as I said before, you know, my mom passed at stage 4 cancer last year.
Yeah.
And it was a wake-up call for me. Like, before my mom's like, I used to say to myself, like, I now have a purpose. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I honestly think I found my purpose now. You know, sometimes I said to people like, you know, my mom death hurt me, but I think it started impact me in a positive way. Okay. Because my mom was a selfless woman. She always been helping people. Okay. You know, and I feel it's only, you know, fair for me, like, just carry on. Not that I never used to help people, because we grew up in a home where that's just our nature. Even my kids, You know what I mean? Joanna as well, like, I can remember when Joanna was younger, I was taking her to school.
Yeah.
And she saw somebody at the stoplight begging. And she actually wind down the car window, wanting to give the man her lunch money. You know what I mean? I said, Joanna, you can't do it, you don't know. He's like, but daddy, you need it. I said, yeah, but you don't know if you need it if you go buy some substance where now benefit, you know, give it to somebody who you're definitely sure need it. So we have that kind of teaching in us.
Yeah.
It's just natural for us to give.
That's right.
You know what I mean? And even a couple of years ago, before COVID, like, I save money, I save my tithes for the year. I just literally buy some clothes and some pillow, jacket, scarf, hat, you know, and we just take it out. Me and my missus take it out. We just give it to the homeless.
You know, that is so great.
Yeah.
Something just jumped into my head while you're talking there. And we've got people, and I'm not knocking anybody. You've got people there, and they will just buy whole heap of stuff that they don't want. And they'll just keep it. They buy whole heap of clothes that them don't need.
Yeah.
They buy whole heap of this that them don't. I'm like, okay, I'll feed them money. You know what I mean?
They'll
do what they want to do it. They'll just buy whole heap of things, unnecessary things. Whether that be shoes, or that be clothes, or that be this. And they buy whole heap of things, and they just pile it up. Just all about themselves.
Right.
You know what I mean? And they don't seem to help anybody, which becomes very, very selfish.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I want to give you a funny story. Like, nobody never knew about that because I'm not one of them person who give and just put on social media.
No.
I never do it for the likes.
No.
Just recently, since I start doing my own little thing, you know, I show people like, this is just me in general. So even if you see me ask money for somebody, I'm literally just asking it for somebody. I don't need it for myself.
Yeah, because I think you could actually relate it to me. We're very, very private people.
Yeah.
What we do, we don't have to we don't have to wave the flag. We don't have to show off anything. So I think you're exactly the same as myself. You know.
Yeah, you don't need to show and tell.
No, you don't.
Yeah. So as I said, I done that just before COVID, and I only posted last. I think was the ending of 2022 or something like that. I can't remember when I posted. You know what I mean? And it's only because, you know, most people say like, listen, yo, I have that kind of art there.
Yeah.
Like, I literally have that kind. Like, we there in a Giwan Jama. Like, when I used to live in the city.
Yeah.
I go in the supermarket for go buy my grocery. And one lady come up to me. She don't speak English. She come up to me and she said to me, "We can buy her a feed for your daughter." I was like, no problem.
Of course.
You know what I mean? And I said to her, you come for it because I'm going to be in there for a while. Believe you me. I said to the lady, pick up what you want. Come back at the wrong thing, me tell her. Come back at the wrong thing, me tell her if you do. But in my head, she said, our baby.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And my bill came up to 60-something pound. Fair come up to 73 pound.
Wow.
And she wanted to put a high chair upon the bill.
Yeah.
I was like, no. Food.
Yeah.
Food.
Yeah.
Just deal with food.
That's right. That's right.
I'm just buy the food for her. And when I go home, I show my missus the bill. It's like, really? One person? It's like, she need help.
Yeah. When people
you know what I mean?
When you see people need help, you know what I mean?
I never come on social media and brag about it.
No. There's no.
I don't. When I'm doing things, I don't do things for sure. Like if I have an organization, yes, and people want to see where the money going, yes, I probably would do it.
That's right. Yeah.
But for my personal use, I don't need to brag about it.
No, you don't. I totally agree with you.
Yeah,
Totally
that's
agree.
not my thing.
Yeah.
I never go to my mother do
No,
that. My mother helped so much people in her life.
Yeah. I've never been into that as well, and I see my family has helped so many people over the years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's what I call the show off thing.
Right.
Can't stand it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I can't stand this show off people, and I can't stand these false people as well who does that. You know what I mean? And that's really, if you know how much that winds me up, you just wouldn't believe it.
Yeah, for real.
I've noticed you actually been doing some sponsorship as well. And tell us a little bit about this. When was that? The sponsorship?
So basically,
was
the
it for-
UK Race for Life.
Yeah, the UK Years for Life. Yeah. That's the one. That's the one with the poster we have for you there.
Right. I first entered that last year when I just found out my mom diagnosis. And when I joined it last year, we raised probably about £480.
Okay.
With friends and, you know. And I wouldn't even say friends, because let me be honest, like the people who support me, Carl, is people I just know.
Okay.
Even my podcast, people who I just know support my thing.
Okay.
Like people I know a long time, a very handful of family member, you know what I mean? So most of the money what me get collect last year, which is the 480, was from work colleagues, and I have a few friends who I just know, like since I coming to the UK.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And them support. And it's the same thing this year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? My cousin as well from the US, they give me some sponsor as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So last year I raised 480 thereabout. This year it was a bit low on the lower end.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I raised about 300 and something pound. But it's the thoughts that count.
And it helps.
And it helps.
Every little bit helps.
Yeah, because with the funding that we collect and donate it to the Cancer Society, they raise over 120K.
Yeah.
You know, so that was good.
That's good. That's good.
That was good.
That's good.
You know what I mean? I even do an outside broadcast.
Yeah.
And sat once in. I interviewed him just recently. The video has not put out as yet.
Who's that?
A guy I met at the place, at the race. I interviewed him.
Okay.
His name is Satwansin. I don't know if I called his name properly.
Okay.
But I think it's Satwansin. Him and his uncle, they was in the running up of third place, the most contributed person. You know what I mean? And I can't remember the figure, but probably about $2,000, $3,000 thereabout.
Yeah.
But they was in the top place, top 3 contributor.
Great.
You know what I mean? And this is something that they do every year because they have family member that pass of cancer. And I met some wonderful people there who supporting the cause.
Okay.
They don't have cancer, they never had cancer.
Yeah.
And they don't have any family member that had cancer. You know, they're just doing it for a genuine cause.
They're supporting the cause.
You know what I mean? So really, really some good people out there that, you know, supporting these things. And I think people should look on cancer as a thing because even this girl I seen doing her thing on TikTok, Danai, she do a topless live because she lost her breast to cancer, both breasts. Second time, you know. And people come on her live and I criticize her and I make fun of her. People need to stop this because cancer do not respect anyone.
No, totally.
Cancer, you could be rich, you get it.
Yeah.
You could have poor, you get it. You could have small, you get it. Big, it don't respect nobody.
It doesn't discriminate.
No, so people need to stop do these things because karma, and what she's doing on her platform is really good.
That's good.
Because I am on her live a lot of time and there are people that living with cancer felt free to come out and say, you know what? I lost my breast to cancer as well. And maybe one of these days I can join you on your live. Your life give me confidence.
Good.
You know what I mean?
That's great.
Yes. So and this person, Shani as well, she's in Jamaica. Okay. She's doing her thing as well. She's struggling with stage 4 colon cancer. It's a family thing for her.
How long has she has it? Let me ask you how long.
4 years.
Oh, she's had it for so
4 years.
She's had it for so time. So it takes her. So where am I going with this? She had it for like 4 years. So it takes her, say, the 4 years to get to stage 4.
Because it take a while.
Would you say that?
Yeah, it take a while. You know, and it reached to her liver.
But with some people, stage 4 can come very, very quickly.
Yeah, because my mom, between the spaces of time, my mom done her first operation.
And how long was that?
My mom found out that my mom did her first biopsy in 2022. Going on to, she done her first one about June, July. She done her first biopsy.
Okay.
And when she done the second one, when she was supposed to do the second one, it was coming on to the ending of the year, you know, and she never got that result.
Yeah.
You know, as I said before, she never got that result.
Okay.
However, when she found out in between that time, the first biopsy showed that it is benign.
Okay.
So she never had any cancer, but the doctor said, do a follow-up.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, all right, that's when she done the follow-up.
Mm-hmm.
When she done the follow-up, as I said, she never get the results. I was the one who collected that results. 8 months after, or 9 months after. When she got the diagnosis at the university hospital. In January and March, she died. When she died at stage 4. So between that space of time...
So that was 2022, and when did she die?
2023.
Yeah, 2020, 21, 22, 23. So what, 3 years?
Yeah.
3 years?
No.
2 years?
No.
22. Oh, sorry.
22, 23.
Oh, 23, yeah.
So less than a year.
So it's less than a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Less than a year.
Yeah, so my apologies for that.
Right,
Yeah.
so less than a year. So when she found out the January, she passed the March. And when the doctor diagnosed her there, they diagnosed her at stage 4. By then it was in her kidney, her liver, her bone, her brain, her lungs. Took her over.
You think if she wasn't on not knocking the system, you think if she was probably somewhere else, or say in the UK, she would have been getting diagnosed any quicker?
Yeah, because...
Yeah, there's a reason why I asked you that question. Carry on.
Because when she done the first biopsy, it was at a private hospital. She got that result within 2 weeks.
Okay.
When she go at the public hospital, you know, sometimes I really don't want to call the name.
No, if you want to leave the name, you can leave it
I
out.
think I want to call the
You want
name.
to call
If
the
I can
name.
call the name on the program, I will, because this hospital known for these things, and I think the government need to fix up these kind of things.
Okay.
Spanish Town Hospital.
Okay.
She done her second biopsy at Spanish Town Hospital. And they said, come back 2 weeks time for your results.
Okay.
She went back 2 weeks time. They said it to her, it's not ready as yet. Come back within the end of the month. She went back the end of the month. They said it's not ready yet. She went there several times and it's not ready. Even when she was in the hospital, she wanted it and she couldn't get it. It was not ready. I was the one who collected it. And I had to say to them, listen, I need to know, I need some closure.
Yeah.
I need to know what was my mom's results.
Okay.
And they said, fine, and they give it to me. She was at stage 2 then.
Wow.
So if she had got that results at that time, probably we could have done something about it. So from she done the first biopsy, 6 months after she done the second one, it reached to stage 2. The doctor said it was aggressive.
That's very interesting. And there's what I'm getting out of that is that people, if they suspect they've got their cancer, they should go and get their tests. And regular tests,
Right?
You know what I mean, before it get to that stage. That's what I'm getting out of that. I know what you're saying, you know, and I totally understand what you're saying. But for those who are around now, you know what I mean, because something actually is going on in my head here, believe it or not.
Yeah, share it, man, share it.
And because I think sometimes people don't go and get their test. You know what I mean? When they should get it,
Right.
Or they don't speak up when they should speak up.
Right.
You know what I mean? If they go through something or they suspect they have something, they don't speak up when they should. You know what I mean? When they should say it, and then it goes on for so long until it's too late.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's where I'm going with that.
Right.
Does that make any sense to you?
Yeah, it make a lot of sense because even with prostate,
Yeah.
men don't want to do their tests. Because in their head they don't want nothing to push up inside of them and blah blah blah, and they're not educated enough that that's the olden days.
Yeah.
You got the PSA test.
I'm just gonna say that blood test.
You got blood tests.
You got the blood test long before that.
Yeah. Even now the UK, and this is something I was supposed to do on my podcast.
Yeah.
Even now they have a research that they can predict cancer 7 years prior to your diagnosis.
Yeah.
So these resources are coming out.
Yes.
People are not educated enough, and that is the reason why I have my podcast. Is to do some of these things, to put these kind of message out there so people can get these messages.
Great.
You know what I mean? So people need to educate themselves on sickness.
That's great.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Definitely.
I totally agree with you. And tell us a little bit about your podcast.
So, as I said, I start my podcast because of my journey with my mom. You know, I want to make a difference in a lot of people's life. You know what I mean? So I started my podcast because of that.
Yeah.
So my initial goal is, as you can see, this is my mom.
Yeah.
And I named the podcast after her.
Yeah. And what tell me the
Ivy
name.
Cancer Podcast.
Ivy Cancer Podcast.
Right. So that is my brand for her.
Yeah.
And I want to carry on her legacy, spreading cancer awareness. And that my podcast is not just about cancer.
Yeah,
Let me just make that clear. It's a health program.
It's a health. Because I saw you talking about is it arthritis? Arthritis.
Right. It's a health program.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it mainly started for cancer.
Yeah.
And with my podcast, my aim, hopefully my channel can grow, because we all know, YouTube pays, right? And my plan for YouTube whenever ever I get monetized is to spend back that money
and put it back into
the cancer. But I don't intend to give it to an institution. I rather to use it individually.
Okay. Yeah.
So if I know somebody with cancer and they are genuine, and I know that they genuinely have cancer,
you'll help them.
I will help them. Like
right.
I was saying about Shani, she has stage 4 cancer. She has been getting help from the ministry. Give thanks for the ministry. I never knew the ministry helped people with cancer until her platform.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So she been getting help, but
and that's the ministry here?
In Jamaica.
Oh, the ministry in Jamaica.
Right.
Okay.
So, and further.
Have you got involved in any ministry here in this country?
Not yet, but I would love to.
Okay.
I'm in a process. I won't call their name, but I'm in a process to sign up for an institution to support people that living on their own, that do not, it's like a personal support then.
Okay.
So I would go around and probably help them do the cleaning, help them do the yard, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I'm in the process. It's not a quick thing. I'm going through some training.
Yeah.
So at the present moment, that is in it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the only institution.
You're in that moment.
But otherwise, I haven't joined up. I've been searching as well, because with the UK here, they don't take any body in their thing.
That's
you know
right.
what I mean?
That's right.
So
and you wouldn't expect that.
No. So
yeah.
You call them, you have to go through a process.
Yes, there is processes.
And some of the sometimes when you call them, they are already full. They book out, etc., etc. But that's my intention, and hopefully in the future.
I was just going to ask you that the long term.
Yeah.
Tell us about the long term.
So my long term goal is to build an institution naming after my mom.
Okay.
Where people can go and get whether counseling, whether treatment, that's the kind of intention that I have. And I hope to achieve all of that through support from the community, support from YouTube. You know what I mean? Because I'm not rich.
None of us are.
I'm not rich. I wish if I could get up tomorrow morning and have a couple £1 million in my account. I probably not go broke again, because the amount of people would help with it. You know what I mean?
That's right. Yeah.
But that is my intention for my podcast. And I'm planning to do some other stuff that I may not say no, because I'm put jinx certain things, and sometimes you have to just make your plans manifest. You know what I mean? But there's so much intention I have. We're helping people with cancer, struggling and stuff. And my podcast is about interviewing people. So if you have any form of illnesses, you can give me a call. I don't know my number out of my head. I don't know my number out of my head. But my email address is Ivy Cancer Foundation at gmail.com.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I can give you the number and you can place it on the screen.
Okay.
And stuff. But yeah, that's the number I use for my podcast and stuff. So great things I have, man. Great things.
And how because I know you've been through your stress and your time. How has this helped you?
The podcast?
The whole, the whole work you do, because you work
Yeah,
like all of us do, and you do
cause
different things.
me leave work come straight
You
here.
leave work
You know
come
what I mean?
straight here. That's how it goes, guys.
So,
You leave work come straight here. So at the time, and how do you fit all this in?
good question, because when I leave work in the evening, I go home.
Yeah.
I have a little part-time job that just recently start doing as a cover.
Yeah.
You know, it's not a every time thing. So I leave there, leave my work, go to that work, and I leave there and I head home. So I start my editing.
Okay.
Every evening I go home and edit video.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because just like you're on here every Wednesday,
Yeah.
my video come out every Wednesday.
Okay.
So I have to make sure say post every Wednesday, the video edit and everything. Sometimes I watch about my interview and I was like, really make that mistake?
Especially if it's live. We go through
You know what I mean?
it.
When it's live, you can't correct nothing.
can't
You know
correct
what I mean? I was like, really ask a question there? You know what I mean? So some of these things, you know what I mean? But it's a learning curve.
Let me tell you, I've had the t-shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not easy.
Yeah,
It's
it's
not
a
easy.
learning curve.
It's a learning curve.
And the more me interview people,
Yeah.
it gives me a sense of comfort to know that, I'm getting these messages out there.
Yeah.
And people are hearing about this person's story, that person's struggle. Because I interviewed this lady who was going through chemo.
Yeah.
And she literally started losing her nails.
Wow.
And she see her toenail on the floor and thought it was a chip that she was eating through the chemo.
The chemo.
You know what I mean?
Wow.
And when she shared her story and it's like, this really happened. Even this lady I've interviewed called what's her name? Lynette.
Okay.
She recently launched her book as well. She was put into hospice to die. And she went home and she started doing research and she get cured.
She get better?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Half
Punch me.
Half natural remedy.
After she went into chemo.
They passed around to hospice.
After she went to hospice.
Yeah.
That's
they passed
great.
around to hospice.
Yeah.
We can't do nothing more for you. You got dead.
And she
went home and she started do some research.
And that is good, because if you know where to go, if you know where to look, and sometimes if you talk to people and people share their ideas, And I've said this many times.
This is what I want.
I've even suggested this to people, you know what I mean? I've said this many times. Sometimes they give you the excuse, that person is too far gone to do anything.
Yeah.
But it's never too far
Never too
gone.
far.
It is never too far
Never
gone.
too far.
Yeah.
The last person I interviewed, her name is Lana. She goes by the name of Danny's daughter on TikTok. And her story as well, she helped herself through natural medicine.
Great.
You know what I mean? But I want people to know that when you have cancer, it don't have to necessarily mean a death sentence.
No.
You know what I mean? Even when the doctor pass you off to say, listen, we can't do nothing more for you. Because I followed a girl this morning as well on IG. And they pass around, look, you have 3 days to die. Spend as much as you can spend with your family. And she said, no, I'm not taking that.
No.
Stage 4.
Yeah.
And she went out and she started doing her research as well. And now, 5 years down the line, she's cancer free.
I'm glad you come up with that. I'm glad you've seen that experience, because I've said this can happen, and I saw this for many people that this can happen, and they literally shocked me off.
Yeah.
They literally shocked me off. You know what I mean? Because I've known people who's actually been in that situation, and they literally shocked me up. It's like they treat me like I'm a fool or like I'm an idiot. And I always say, go for the positive way, or look into this. Or if you got family members, get your family members to help you.
Right.
If you can't do it on your own, get your family members to help you to pursue the journey of getting better.
Support is good.
Support is good.
Support is good.
But sometimes people actually support in other ways which you think is not really relevant to what is going on. You know what I mean?
I'm going to tell you something. This guy, what's his name? He go by the name of Hello, It's Me Again. That guy, story as well, inspired me so much.
Yeah.
He mentioned something about support as well that helped him through his cancer journey. Your mental health, trust me, when you sit down and you're depressed, and you only have feed your cancer. You only have feed your cancer. So people need to start, you know, when they get, it's easier said than done because I don't have it.
Of course.
But I can only tell you stories of people who give me their experience. Like they try to push themselves. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
To go further. Look, I'm not going to take this diagnosis. I may get it, but this not going to be my last call.
Great.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And this girl as well, there's so much people I've interviewed. And the guy what I told you about last year before he passed, he passed of cancer last year in the first podcast interview I done with you. Unfortunately, he passed, but this girl called Casey, she has been struggling as well. She gets cancer now for the second time. Second time around, and God knows I want to help her so much, but it's so difficult because I have to pay my bills. You know what I mean? And that is the reason why I push my podcast, because, you know, I don't like beg.
No, I know.
Carl, I don't like beg.
None of us do.
I don't like beg. And that is the reason why my fundraising, my contribution was so small, because, you know, I beg you one time and tell me, say, all right, you know, tomorrow I give it to you, I'm going to come back to you tomorrow.
Stop.
I'm not going to pressure you, you know what I mean? So, you know, but she's struggling now as well with cancer, and she needs some help because she can't get a job. She literally lost her job recently because they found out that she has cancer, and she never put that on her report, you know what I mean? So people out there need help, and that is the reason why I'm pushing my podcast, and I really want it to reach a level where I start getting funding from YouTube, because these people, I would definitely help.
Definitely. Tell us where we can find your podcast, because I think our time is actually running out.
Yeah, so you can find me at I_V VY Cancer Podcast.
Great.
On TikTok and on IG, and on Facebook it's Ivy Forbes, because that's my mom's real name. And and I'm on YouTube at Ivy Cancer Podcast on YouTube. So guys, please go over there and support my channel. It's free for subscribe. You know what I mean? And interact with the videos, because subscribing alone, well, as a matter of fact, I think like even work more than even subscription.
Same with this program, guys.
So yeah, man, support people who do some good works. You know what I mean?
Anybody you want to say hello to?
Well, big up my family, my kids, them. You know what I mean? The missus. You know what I mean? Like we are good, you know, but. Big them up, big up my daughter, the Jamaican, my grandkids. I have two lovely granddaughters.
Brian, respect.
Yeah, man.
Thank you for coming into the studio.
Big up, man. And big up all who support my channel. For those who subscribe to me YouTube on TikTok, who follow me on TikTok, I get the most support on TikTok. The people on TikTok love me. I love them just the same.
Great, fantastic.
Big them up.
Right, Brian, there you have it, guys. Don't forget, guys, to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. YouTube Breakthrough TV. What's on your mind with Carl Campbell? Don't forget, you can catch me also tomorrow on the Drive Time Show from 3 till 6. www.newstarradio.com. On next week's program, we have Dr. Cheryl Diana Parkinson. And she'll be here next week live in our studio. And that should be very, very interesting. So I want to say thank you. I also want to say, guys, thank you for supporting the program, all you guys who support the program. My producer, I want to say thanks to you, my producer. Look after yourself. God bless you. Catch you back with another program next week of What's on Your Mind. And please subscribe to the channel, guys. And share the program. Massive respect. God bless you. Thank you.